spotlight now on the Coyotes for a couple of minutes. It's good to have them back. Their home opener is Sunday night against Chicago. And we want to have the general manager of the Coyotes, Don Maloney, on for a couple of minutes. Don, you got any vehicles out here you want to purchase at Barrett-Jackson?
Well, you know what? It's a great show, and I encourage people to get out and see it. But you know what? When we're shopping at Walmart to find players, I don't think the price range works for us.
That's well put. I love having you on because you can go anywhere. Do you have any thoughts on Manti Te'o today, Don?
Boy, how about that one? I mean, you talk about bizarre stories. It's really overwhelming, and it's almost when you have to read it like 10 times and say, "What is this true?" And I think it's just in its infancy to see who knew what and how much, and but that's as stunning a story as as I've seen in a long time.
Well, and you know, I've covered sports for many, many years, and I've seen all sorts of odd stories. I've never seen one quite like this either. And it's not to take away from talking about your game and your team, but it's just everybody's talking about it today. Like, oh my gosh, how do you piece this together? And that leads me into your hockey team. You know, keeping the momentum of last season, is it as simple as just playing games?
Well, I wish it was that simple. You know what? I think we have 30 teams getting ready to start. They're going to go off on Saturday, and I think we're all looking at our own situation. Say, how do we get off to the best start possible? And you know, we've got I think the good thing for us, Brad, is that we have our core group in place. Shane Dolan's our leader. He's here. We got Mike Smith, and the kind of season he had last year. We know what we have in the net, where maybe a year ago we had a little bit of question there. So our defense, to me, looks better and more younger and more mobile. Picking up Matthew Lombardi yesterday helps our center ice position. So we think we're in very good position from depth basis to charge out of the gates, but until we drop the puck on Saturday in Dallas and then Sunday back here at jobbing.com arena, we don't know. How quick can we get up to speed, and how disciplined you can be, and the mistakes, how few mistakes you can make. That all determine whether we, does it take one game or 5 games or 15 to get up and running, and that's the mystery that 30 teams are looking at right now.
Don Maloney with us for a couple of minutes. And I ask you that question, and your response is about what I thought. But in my circle where I'm running around, not just with sports people, in my daily life around my wife, my kids, the family stuff around high school, whatever, they all just kind of assume, boy, the Coyotes are going to be really good again. Can we get back to the Western Conference Finals? The question they asked me. And I'm like, guys, it's really hard to do what they did last year. It's not just as simple as show up and play through this. And you also have to look at it as, is your team built to play so many games in such a short period of time? The NBA is not like the NHL, but I saw it last year where there were teams that just collapsed as the season went along because they couldn't stay fresh. Is your team built to go through this grind in such a hurry, Don?
Well, Brad, I think you have an excellent analysis of the situation, and I do believe from a depth perspective, we are in real good shape in every position to withstand certain injuries. However, we all know, the first time in franchise history that this team, won the division and made it to the semifinals was last year. So, and it's been 33 years. Which, on one hand you say, boy, that's one enough franchise. On the other hand, you say, well, they're trending in the right direction. So our goal is to get to the playoffs. That's our goal. Whether, and you can get there 2 ways. You win your division, you're in, or you're one of the 5 sort of wild card spots. So, we're not worried about, getting the semifinals, and our goal is simply come out of the gate strong, get to the playoffs, and really, if you look at LA, and they had they got hot at the right time. They were the 8th seed. 2 days before the end of the season, they weren't going to be in. They were outside the playoff picture. So, I think if anything, the parity in the league makes for exciting hockey, and we just think we have a kind of team that if we get to the playoffs, it'll be, we'll have as good a chance as any team to win in the playoffs. But getting there is going to be very, very tough. And, the proof will be in the pudding when we start up on Saturday and beyond.
Yeah, Sunday night, the home opener against Chicago. Limited tickets still available for that, fans. If you want to get out there on Sunday night, it's a hot ticket. The opener against the Blackhawks. Don Maloney, GM of the Coyotes, with us. Brad Sussmat. We're at Barrett-Jackson at the Arizona Ford Dealers display, having a good time here on the show between noon and 2. Extra Sports 910 and Pros to Preps. What do you expect from Rafi Torres? And I leave that very wide open because a guy can say he's going to try to change his game, but you're going to have officials that'll say, that's Rafi Torres. And then you're going to have a guy saying, well, I can't do that anymore. Realistically, Don, what do you expect from Rafi Torres?
Well, you know, Rafi has a lot more to give than just that physical element that he brings to his game. And for any hockey fan that watched the game and saw what happened to Matt Cook in Pittsburgh and how he had to redefine his game, you know, he was in the Rafi Torres category of guys that had late hits, illegal hits that aren't allowed in the game anymore, and dangerous hits. And in Rafi's case, you're absolutely 100% right. He will be certainly looked at from every official that comes and officiates our game. So he has to adjust his game. But in Rafi's case, he can skate, he can shoot. I think the best part of his game is with the puck in the offensive zone. He can make plays. And I know Tip has spent a lot of time with him and showing him video, and his whole mindset has to change. The normal mindset is when you go in a forecheck, it's play the body and then find the puck. Where him, it's got to be all puck, stick on puck. And almost the point you have to forget about making contact, but be quick, be hard in the puck, get the puck, shoot it in the net, and raise your arms and go back to the bench. And so I'm encouraged. Rafi, he's looked terrific in the limited time we've seen him from training camp opening. He does have 8 games remaining on the suspension, so it'll be a little bit of time on the sidelines. But we're going to need him before it's all said and done. When the guy can skate and shoot the way he can, hopefully we can adjust his game enough that people start to, a little less, focus on Rafi for what he was in the past, and a little more focus on some of the good things he can bring us.
Sure. It is a very intriguing storyline just to see how he responds as the season goes along. I think the emergence of young players is always good for an organization. And we can go up and down your roster. There's several big-name players that came through last year, I thought, and really grabbed onto the fans' hearts. I was more encouraged, though, Don, in talking with the NHL people about Ekman Larsson as the playoffs went along. There was more and more people that said, yeah, you can talk all you want about this player and Mike Smith and on, but I tell you, the future of Ekman Larsson's very bright. Let's talk about what you expect from him this coming season.
Brad, you could argue he was our best defenseman in the playoffs last year as a 20-year-old. And this fall when there's a work stoppage, we debated whether do we leave him in Sweden and lock him out and let him play there? Does he go down to Portland and play in the American League? And the decision he was all for it. He wanted to go to Portland. He wanted to keep playing. He was, if not the best player in that league, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 in the whole American Hockey League, in my opinion. I mean, he has just continued to shine, and if anybody, we had a great crowd here at Jobbing.com last night for an inter-squad game. I think there was 3,000 to 4,000 people. And they were enthusiastic, and he was paired up with Zima Holick, who feels like he's never left, and it's interesting to watch them. Those two are so good. It was almost the point where we had to tell them, listen, can you let the other team get over the blue line once in a while? We have to let the fans see a little offense, but that's how good I think that pairing is going to be. And in Oliver's case, he's the sky is the limit for him. He's the ability, the way he plays with the puck, his vision and his instincts for the game. He may not be ever be a 50 or 60 point guy in this league, but he's going to be close. But he's also going to be a guy that's going to end up playing 30 minutes a game on a Stanley Cup winner. And you know what? You never hate the stars have to emerge by their play. And he's a very good player now, and I think he'll be an all-star for a long time as he continues to mature. And he's a 21-year-old player, so there's still lots of growth left to his game. But boy, he is a special player, and we're thrilled he's with us.
Well, and during the playoffs last year, Panger and Roenick and any analyst that we had on immediately went away from the obvious storylines. There's nothing wrong with talking about Yandel or Doan or any of those guys, but they all kept coming back to Ekman Larsson, and that's why to me, I think that's very encouraging. Before you get out of here, give me a player that you're looking at and you're saying, this guy is this close to really breaking through and making an impact for us. A guy that maybe the fans, the media, that hasn't really gotten a whole lot of attention, but you're looking at saying, he's this close, Brad.
Brad, I think it's Mikkel Bodker. And I know he's been around. Our fans have known him and seen him, but another guy that in the playoffs he stepped up his game. He scored some big goals, and he played over in Finland for the fall, and played very well, produced points. The thing with Mikkel, he's extremely quick. He's strong in the puck. He's strong. He's got a strong physique. But we need him to be a productive player. We need him to score and score points and create offense. And I really think he's right on the cusp of breaking through from being just a decent NHL player to being a top two-line point-producing player. And if I had to bet on somebody, that's the guy I would say, okay, watch this kid this year, because he's had a great fall in Finland. He's very confident and comfortable, had a real good playoff. I think he understands that I can be more than just a third or fourth liner in the National Hockey League. So keep your eye out for him.
Stay well. I'll see you Sunday night out at the arena. Thanks.
My pleasure, Brad.
That is Don Maloney, general manager of the Coyotes, with us. Home opener is Sunday night against the Blackhawks. They start the regular season in Dallas on Saturday night. It is great to have the National Hockey League back in the Valley and back at it. And we appreciate Don Maloney's time.